Hello, media entrepreneurs. It's another day of opportunity. Welcome to my office. I'm James Briner, and this is Your News Biz, the podcast that's about the people creating the journalism of the future. You all know how tough it is to start and run a business, and I hope this podcast can help you. In the next 5 minutes or so, I'll share with you some of the ways I'm using artificial intelligence tools to save time and be more helpful to others like you. I trust these tools, and here's how I'm using them. To create short videos that can be shared to social media, for translating some of my work into Spanish because I work in both languages, for coaching and mentoring small business people, and for troubleshooting technical problems I have with various apps and online tools. And I'll share all this information and links in the show notes. First of all, I use an AI app called Kapwing that will process long videos into short clips that can then be shared with social media. I recently processed a 45-minute Zoom video that I did with a young journalist and cut it into 10 clips of about 30 seconds each. The app lets me select the clips based on keywords I give it, and then lets me edit the subtitles and text, rewrite the headlines, and add images. It's very flexible. For language translation, the large language models have gotten much better in the past 2 years or so, and I use DeepL the most, DEEPL, because it adapts to my writing style. But I've also seen improvements in Google's Gemini and Anthropic's Claude. These tools are learning from their mistakes, but you have to use caution. The output sometimes will create awkward translations of idiomatic expressions, and it'll get some things wrong, so you have to be careful. I'm also a volunteer coach of small businesses for an organization called SCORE, and I use ChatGPT with my clients to show them how they can do competitive market research in real time. For example, I just worked with one of my clients who had a beauty business, and I showed her how to ask ChatGPT how many competitors are there with, how many competitors of my business are there within 10 miles, and what kinds of services do they offer, and what are they charging, so she could see, what she's got to compete with. And finally, I use ChatGPT or Claude to help me when my iPhone or my laptop or something like YouTube won't let me do what I wanted to do. And I get way better help than I would get from owner's manuals or from help buttons online. So for example, I could not get my Apple messaging app to send messages to my contacts who use Android phones. So ChatGPT walked me through about a dozen different troubleshooting scenarios, and the tone of the chatbot's responses began to show frustration. Just as I was getting frustrated. Finally, it all boiled down to getting to one particular setting in my iPhone that was deep with all inside the interface, and I never would have found that on my own. One more pro tip from Jeremy Kaplan of Wonder Tools. He does not give a thumbs up or thumbs down to AI responses because it, in effect, is giving permission for the chatbot to learn from your response. So you're giving away your intellectual property, in effect. So, if you like this episode, please share it. And if you have suggestions of media entrepreneurs you'd like me to interview or topics that you'd like me to cover, please email me at jamesbriner@gmail.com. I'll include the address in show notes, where you'll also find links to some relevant articles and other things. And thank you for watching and listening to Your News Biz. And remember, it's another day of opportunity.